blockchain in UAS system. So we have Dr. Ravi and Dr. Dinesh joining us for this talk. Dr. Ravi, as you already heard, he's the Vice President and Head of Advanced Engineering Group at Infosys. And Dr. Dinesh is CTO at UCAL Technologies in Aerospace and Defense Division. And he's a Certified Chief Innovation Officer. Interestingly, Dr. Dinesh is DGCA certified drone pilot with 3 patents and 20 plus international journal publications. He's also a member of G31, G34, and S18. Dr. Dinesh won Dr. Richard Greaves Award for outstanding contributions to aerospace engineering in 2019 and 2020. And he also won Innovation Excellence Award for Indo-Korea project from DST, Government of India in New Delhi in 2019. So with that, Dr. Ravi, Dr. Dinesh, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Perfect. First of all, thank you. We take this opportunity to thank SAE India and SAE International for giving us this wonderful opportunity to present on this Aerostandards workshop. Myself and Dinesh, we are going to present opportunities, challenges, and requirements for use of blockchain in unmanned aircraft systems. In fact, this entire work was done as part of the aerospace information report that we have been working together with the G31 committee. This AIR document is AIR 7356, Opportunities, Challenges, and Requirements for Use of Blockchain in Unmanned Aircraft Systems operating below 400 feet above ground level for commercial use. So this is the document that we are currently working, and a number of people have contributed to this particular document development. You can see here all the people who have contributed to this particular document. That includes many people, including Dr. Ravi Rajamani, who is there, who is going to speak today. Okay. And many colleagues from India, apart from Dinesh and myself, we have people from Infosys, DRDO, GE, who has contributed to this. We acknowledge all their support in this document. So what we are going to present is essentially a kind of teaser of this particular document. So before we get on how blockchain is going to help unmanned aircraft systems, it's just going to give a kind of perspective on the unmanned aircraft systems. In fact, Ritesh has wonderfully summarized in the earlier presentation. So if you look at the entire unmanned aircraft systems, it consists of unmanned aircraft, command and control and communications, infrastructure that is out there. And the communication between the ground station and the unmanned aircraft can be either through satellite or a dedicated RF link. And this particular UAV is categorized based on various parameters that includes the maximum takeoff weight, size, operation, range, and autonomy. And as you all know, drones are widely used now, both in the government sector as well as in the enterprise sector, whether it is for security, surveillance, disaster management, or the other operations, logistics, asset health management. In fact, Dinesh has used some of his unmanned aircraft systems for the recent flights in Chennai last year and a few months back as well. So if you look at what are the challenges that we have today as far as the UAS is concerned, right? There is a huge amount of growth that is out there. It's an exponential growth that is happening. And if you look at this entire ecosystem, there are many stakeholders. And all these stakeholders need to be managed. There are many challenges related to the certification, airspace management, operations, digital supply chain management, and maintenance. We are going to walk through each of those challenges and see where and how blockchain can help in meeting those challenges. Okay. And of course, there was a question earlier which talks about how do you manage the air traffic management, right? So which involves a lot of this frequent and high volume data logging, data security for the trusted and automated operations. There are many other challenges that are out there. So our objective is to look at how blockchain can help in meeting these challenges. So before we get on how blockchain can help, just look at what is blockchain, right? We are looking at blockchain is only from an enterprise function perspective, not the public blockchain, but an enterprise blockchain. As you all know, blockchain is a distributed ledger technology which helps in tracking the transactions. It is a shared ledger that has smart contract capability, which gives some more additional automation capability. And if you look at this particular slide, it gives a kind of overview on how aerospace ecosystem can interact through the blockchain, right? Through the shared ledger and also the smart contract. And hence, blockchain can eliminate the middleman, essentially removes the counterparty risk with the software architecture that enables direct collaboration, reduces the transactional friction. It's essentially through the smart contracts with the terms, conditions, and business rules specified by the parties, embedded in the software, reducing the associated cost. Hence, it prevents the security risk. Transactions can be validated across, and it enables coordination. All members can use historical transactions to self-synchronize using data assured to have not been altered, right? Basically, you can get that immutability part of it as far as the data transaction is concerned. It can save time and cost. It can avoid delays. Right? So these are a lot of benefits that are out there and which seems lucrative as far as the blockchain is concerned. However, as any other technology, blockchain is also not perfect. Right? Blockchain has many concerns. More specifically, it is computationally intensive, right? Each node in a blockchain runs and maintains the consensus algorithm, which provides fault tolerance ability and minimizes the downtime. Right? So that makes it more difficult for real-time applications. Okay? Especially the network speed and cost are some of those concerns because if the blockchain has a large number of nodes and it requires good amount of computational cost. Data volume, again, as more and more transactions are getting added to the blockchain ledger, it will increase the size of the distributed database and things like that. Okay, and some of the concerns related to the application performance. Okay, blockchain application is slower than the traditional one, as additional tasks that need to be carried out, like signature validation, consensus algorithms, and things like that. And another important thing is the standards. Okay, blockchain is in the early stages of evolution, right? And hence there are no standards that are available, and these standards are very, very important as far as the scalability or applicability is concerned. Okay, so those are some of the things that that need to be looked at while you look at blockchain as an alternate technology to solve some of the challenges that you have. So let's look at it. Having looked at the blockchain, both benefits as well as the challenges, let us look at the life cycle stages of UAS, right? Of course, this is more or less similar to the life cycle stages that we have for the bigger aircraft. It will consist of design, development, and production stages. It will have certification part of it, both on the type certification, airworthiness approvals, and all other certifications related to the production certification, MRO certification, and things like that. Then you have the operations phase, then the maintenance and the disposal. So it's essentially the life cycle is pretty involved, and of course it can be as complicated as possible compared to the large aircraft program that we have, or it can be on the smaller side where the size of the UAV is less. Then probably some of them can be straightforward. Okay. So let us look at it in each of those life cycle stages, where and how blockchain can help. First thing is UAS certification part of it. Because you have exponential growth of UAS, you need to have good technology that can help you in increasing the throughput, right, in terms of the certification. That is one challenge that we have. And again, another one is these certification procedures are also continuously evolving, and that is another challenge. And we need some kind of technology which can help in immutability and smart automation features to enable the safer, faster, and permanent certification process to regulate the UAS. Okay. Definitely, here blockchain can help in certification processes and supports. More specifically, you can manage the paperless transactions, immutable records. You can effectively implement that, digital evaluations, and also reduce the human effort and increased effectiveness. Okay. So it has a lot of those advantages. Similarly, if you look at the UAS operations, right? Again, you are flying these UAS systems in an unregulated airspace, right? Because of that, there are a lot of potential risks associated with illegal and misuse of UAS operations. It can be flight operations interference, damage to infrastructure, secure facility trespassing, and a few other things that includes carrying lethal materials and things like that. And here, blockchain can help a very good way, in the sense it can provide all the transactions that are happening in immutable, decentralized data storage with highly traceable and secure data. So that will help a lot to track and trace, and also it can help as an hindrance. Right? That's one important thing. Of course, the challenge is we need. Blockchain cannot use it for a real-time applications, right? It has more computations and all that stuff that is there. So it requires some more technology maturity before we actually apply some of these time-critical applications. But as far as the immutability and traceability is concerned, this is very good. Similarly, on the blockchain for the UAS maintenance, okay? Here again, maintenance processes for UAS can be as complicated as those of a large commercial aircraft, or as simple as replacing a part by the operator or the owner. And managing and maintaining the MRO process on time requires good amount of automation and digitalization capabilities. Okay. Essentially, if you look at here again, there are small and medium UAS maintenance regulations are still immature and will continue to evolve. So here, definitely blockchain enabled MRO operations can help in preventing some of the human errors. Okay, it brings the transparency, traceability of the MRO processes, traceability of technicians, qualifications and training history, tamper-proof records, which improves the compliance. Of course, it is quite similar. Even you can ask, can blockchain help even in the regular commercial aviation sector for the large aircrafts? Yes, that is equally possible. And here we are talking about UAS whose range is much larger, in the sense it can be as complicated as the large commercial aircraft or a smaller part that can be replaced. Okay, so from that angle, yes, blockchain can help improving this MRO operations process. And another important thing is in the supply chain side. Right? Of course, and most of the blockchain applications today are in the supply chain side of it. Right? Supply chain is also is a pretty complex, consisting of several component systems, suppliers, and service providers to meet several contractual obligations. Okay, with respect to the time and cost and the quality part of it. Right? Also, blockchain can offer the digital ledger technologies which can help ensure the immutability and traceability of all the transactions in a secured manner. And of course, if you look at supply chain, it goes outside the enterprise itself, so because it'll go into the entire ecosystem, right? And whatever benefits that we could realize so far, blockchain applications in UAS supply chain, all of them are equally applicable for the UAS as well. And blockchain in the UAS disposal, this is also equally important because unlike the bigger aircraft where you have the life of the aircraft is 30 to 40 years in the commercial side, here these UAS applications, probably the lifespan may be less, and probably most of these aircraft parts may be salvaged for future use. And of course, it has a lot of those components which are related to the lubricants, batteries, electronic parts, and things like that, which need to be disposed in accordance with the applicable environmental standards. So, which is also a kind of tricky situation. So, how do we manage those the parts recycling and also parts disposal? And blockchain enabled process can help in meeting these challenges of disposal stage with very good traceability and compliance. So in a way, blockchain has very good opportunities, in the sense blockchain can provide good opportunities to meet some of these challenges related to the US and the various life cycle stages. Okay, so with that, what I'll do is I'll just pass it on to my colleague, Dr. Dinesh, who is going to take over the next few slides, and he will walk you through some of those detailed interactions and how blockchain can help in each of those interactions. Over to you, Dr. Dinesh.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. Thank you. Good evening, good morning, everyone. I'm audible?
Yes.
Yes. Let us look at the UAS ecosystem interaction. There are almost 5 interaction. The UAS ecosystem stakeholders, which includes the OEM, aircraft certificate body, owners, MRO, and airspace regulation body. The OEM and the aircraft certification authorities interact for the product certification. The operator and the airspace regulatory, they are involved in both the operator certification and ATC clearance as the local government regulations. The operator and OEM interaction for procurement of the products. This is actually very, very important, for the US the ecosystems. Okay, next slide. Here we talk about the detailed documentation, involving interaction that we are discussed earlier. All the stakeholders must have a unique digital identifier. All the documents should be made digital for automated transaction or enable computer to understand the data and take the suitable action. The digital compliance guidelines are important to improve the automation and reduce the error. It is also necessary for the OEMs to maintain the track record for the manufactured parts and other related documents. The MRO is supposed to digitally, completely store all the maintenance record and damage report for all the UAS serviced. Next slide. The requirement for the UAS blockchain, especially in a commercial use, the OEM and operator, the standards, you can see, the very important interactions. Here you can be able to see the basic interaction between the operator, that is called the owner or OEM interaction. Initially the request for the code, and then completely every stage interactions and detailed interaction, all the things records will be stored in blockchain and smart contract. Okay, we can completely record all the things like that. The stakeholders, all the records, it's kind of different stakeholder like the OEM operator, the OEM, and then you can see that certification body, all the records will be captured and stored in the blockchain and then a smart contract. Okay, this is the one glimpse of OEM and operator, the blockchain, the requirement for use of blockchain in the commercial use. Okay, next slide. This slide, no, the present the requirement for use of the blockchain in a commercial use application, especially for the supply chain. The supply chain interaction between the stakeholders is very important. All the data transfer, the interaction across the entire supply chain can be recorded in a blockchain. This data can be tracked in a timestamp and then whenever the record. The key players in a supply chain are the operator and the supplier, OEM and MRO. Note that the owner of the UAS will play the role, the important role if he is not an operator. You can show the complete the figure explaining about the interactions and then documentations and then supply chain activity. Next slide. This is a need for blockchain in US standard. The complete need for standard and requirement and then all the stakeholder interaction. The standards are needed for the effective and the efficient implementation of the blockchain enabled US process. All that the stakeholders should have a verified digital identity so that the blockchain network can be trust the input. You can see the PKI and X50 certificate that the approximate classes can be used for the purpose. The stakeholders data and documents should be exchanged confidentially with appropriate permission management. It also necessary that documents are shared via the blockchain, the standardized XML format, not scanned for the paper in a PDF format. Then the verification can be automated with a smart contract. Okay. This is a complete need. Now you can see that clear. I think Dr. Ravi mentioned about that this is a teaser document. Now we are actually bringing the important message. The need for the standards and requirement, and then the different stakeholder interactions. I think the next slide, Ravi. Finally, we can conclude this presentation with the following important points. Okay. The basic understanding, though, you can see that from the opportunity and challenge and requirement for use of the blockchain in US. Okay, that is the important thing of this document. The blockchain can provide many advantages across the US life cycle, from the certification and supply chain and airspace management and operation to maintenance. Completely. The blockchain also certain limitation. Finally, we need to use the blockchain whenever it benefit. Okay. This ecosystem needs a certain data standard to scale the opportunity. Definitely, the blockchain can make sure tamper-proof immutability. Actually, you can see that the document and the certification point of view is very, very important, and then traceability and secure. Today, actually, you can see that UAS application. This standard will help you for the future standardization things. Today, this is a presentation. We bring about the complete teaser, the important points, the importance of the standard. Especially the presentation is a teaser for AR7356 document. For more detail, we are request you to refer down the AR7356 document. I think which may be available in the month of January 2023. You can see in SAE standard. You can get complete informations. And then finally, thank you SAE and then for this opportunity and for the SAE standard. You can reach us at this mail ID. We are happy to answer the audience question now. Okay, and we now pass it on to the Sadish. Thank you all.
Dinesh, thank you, Dr. Ravi.